Hey everybody, this is Josh from Haven Comics coming to you live on Thursday night. Why? Because it's Thursday night, and that's what we do. We do a talk show on Thursday nights. We never really decided why it's Thursday nights, but that's what we do. So stick around and find out what are we going to talk about tonight, because we have a lot of fun planned. I'm just going to go quiet here for a minute. Well, that didn't really work very well, so I'm going to see what's going on. Alan, did you just see it play the intro video?
No, I did not see it play the intro video at all.
I also didn't, and I told it to, so that's troublesome. So let's see what's happening here. I'm going to try it again. We look like seasoned professionals.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. Seasoned professionals. So, Alan, what's happening?
Well, I hope everybody had a good Halloween. I hope everybody had a safe Halloween. But Halloween is over, and this is the week of pain. For those of you that don't know, yes, we are getting ready for something that's going to be extremely painful Saturday. And there's only one way for me to get ready for it. I don't want to eat on the stream, but I will do what I have to do to prep.
Oh.
Yes, sir.
You figure if you burn your stomach out before Saturday, then
yeah, haunted ghost pepper.
You're just chewing on that like it's nothing, so it must not be too bad.
Well, let me tell you why I'm chewing on it like it's nothing. This morning, I ate about a quarter of the Packy One Chip Challenge, and everything on the inside died. I have no taste buds left.
Everything on the inside died.
Yep. Which kind of brings us to one particular person that's kind of waiting patiently that I do need to discuss this one chip with, and we'll bring him on and we can talk about it.
We can, but first we need to see who all we got in the chat tonight. Let's see. I don't see Tots in there. Where's Tots?
So
Tots always leaves the first comment.
Tots was actually making fun of me earlier through text messages, talking about I was prepping that I needed a montage because I referred to myself as Batman and this was prep time. So he was trying to send me montages of people training. So I'm pretty sure that he might have taken the hint and he's off training somewhere now himself.
The thing is, he doesn't need to train for any of that. His taste buds and his esophagus and his entire intestinal system is nothing but scar tissue. I'm convinced.
Well, I got a feeling this one might get him because it was awful when I tried it this morning.
Well, all right. Well, looks like we got somebody new popping on. Bottom tier collector. Hey, man, appreciate you jumping on. Glad to have you on board. Hope you have a good time. Jump in the chat. Everybody has a good time. Everybody's cool. And if they're not cool, HR will ban them forever. Or if we just don't mean to, we'll accidentally ban them forever if they're Nick. Speaking of Nick, looks like he got his way back in. He brought his popcorn. It's popcorn time. Nick, how you doing, brother? Hope everything is going well. Planned fun is the best fun. That's right. You plan it, you orchestrate it, you have a checklist, then it's fun. He must have gone to Disney World a few times.
So is that going to keep popping up all night?
How do you have that set up? Do you have it set up as a banner?
No, actually, I just posted it in the chat earlier, and then I started, and then I just took the stars off of them, so it's still popping up there.
That is weird, and I don't know.
But for those of you that are wondering what that is where you can go and make donations to the Packy One Chip Challenge. We will be raising money for Angel Tree, and if you're not doing money, bring your canned goods because we are doing the food drive for Manna House also.
Yep. Saturday's going to be a big day. We're going to get into that here in just a second. We got Jeremy Bernat in the house. Look at that. Glad to have you on board, brother. Two Bros Comics, Nick sucks. That's a really interesting thing to think. Interesting. Wonder who could be typing that. We'll find out in a minute. Let's look over and see who we got in the house. We got tonight with us some people to talk about what we're doing on Saturday, all the fun that this is going to be, and the just pure insanity that it's going to be. One of them being the great Wool himself. How you doing, Wyatt?
What up?
What
Man, just for anybody who says Wyatt, he seems familiar, and then they look at you and go, I don't remember any bankers named Wyatt. Wyatt got his hair cut, y'all.
Yeah, I cut it off, man. So I decided to just go ahead, get rid of it for a little bit. I had it for the whole time during the pandemic and a little bit before then, but I was like, YOLO. Yeah, I'll grow it back if I want to.
Y'all need to quit cutting your hair because I live vicariously through y'all, and this ain't cool.
Man, I like one time when I was feeling stressed, like usually I just rub my hands through my hair and it wasn't there. It was tough, you know what I mean? But I mean, it is what it is. It's hair. It'll grow back until it won't.
And so after that, I got looking forward to Saturday.
Not particularly, but I'm doing it for the kids, so I've got myself hyped up for it. My fiance, I named her upper management because she stops me from doing crazy things. So anytime I try to do something, I'll be like, upper management told me I couldn't do that. And so she wasn't happy when she found out. She did some research on the one chip challenge, and she was like, oh no. So like, we have to get you prepared. So I've been practicing eating tortilla chips so I could get it, because I got big lips, so I can't get it on my lips. I have to have been practicing trying to eat chips without.
That is true. When you get some of that hot stuff, that it gets on your lips and it gets in the little tiny cracks and things in your lips, and then it just burns forever in there. That is one of the worst things. You're right about that.
So I've been practicing eating chips where it doesn't hit my mouth, and then like trying to take, chip bites so that I could be able to, help out from there. Yeah.
It is a little bit cooler though, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll cool, man. It's been so much better, and then my head feels lighter too. So then after that, but I do miss the fact that like for the first time ever, I was able to, with my locks, I was able to like fling them around and then feel like what it felt like to have hair around there. But now,
see, you're just making Alan sad. Look at that.
Mm-hmm. So there is one other person backstage right now that we do need to bring on because he does not know it, but I actually owe him an apology, and I will explain that. I will explain that apology as soon as we bring him on.
You don't apologize to anybody, so I'm dying to hear this. And to answer your question, Dustin may or may not be joining tonight. Yes, Dustin is joining tonight. He looks like he's in the middle of something, but we're going to bring him on anyway.
Oh, he's waiting on that apology.
There he is. He wants to hear that apology.
So I decided that I was going to start getting ready for Saturday by eating spicier and spicier and spicier food. Well, this morning on the way to work, I stopped at the store and I bought the one chip. Got to work this morning. I had my breakfast, did my usual stuff. And I was like, okay, I got to try this out. I've got to know now. So I opened up the chip and I just let it sit there for a few minutes on my desk, and it got up my nose. So that was bad. So I do need to apologize for making fun of you on it getting up your nose last year. But wait a minute, this is like a multi-part apology.
I love it.
So I'm sitting there, and I guess probably about 2 hours after I had breakfast, I literally I wasn't thinking about it, nothing. I just reached over, grabbed a hunk of that chip, popped it in my mouth, got about half of it chewed up, half went down my throat, and the other half went right in the garbage can. And the first thing I thought was, dang it, I've got to apologize to Dustin for making fun of him for spitting that out. The second thing that went through my mind was, sweet baby Jesus, everybody get out of my way. I need water now. Dude, this is worse than last year's. And just having a quarter of that chip, it had me tore up and burning for about 30 minutes straight.
Yeah.
And then my mouth just went completely numb.
See, I never made fun of him. I just felt bad for you because when you said, and now I looked back at the quiz show because I was on there, and you talked about how like your eye was bleeding, and then I'm like, what in good gracious? Why did I sign up for this? And then when I think about it, all I have to do is I have to blame Jeremy. Jeremy was like, "It's for the kids, man. It's for the kids." And then, I'm worried, but you know what I mean. It is for the kids. We've raised over like $750 already so far, so that's really really great.
That's
Like,
crazy.
yeah. So
That's
so
crazy. People want to see you guys hurt yourselves.
and that's
Right.
all right. And we're gonna do a live stream for it too. So then after that, people can see how we react, and we can hopefully get some more people to to do that as far as that's concerned. But yeah, I last year, like the Blurred Syndicate, we hosted a family last year. This year we'll definitely probably be able to host at least two families right now. You know what I mean? Because like when you look at some of the stuff that they asked for, like they asked for like bed sheets with like cartoon characters on it. You know what I mean? Not toys, not you know what I mean? Not electronics. They're just like, oh, can we have bed sheets? Can we have a jacket? Like those kinds of things. So hopefully, with our powers combined, as Captain Planet said, we can be able to, you know, bless some people in the northern Alabama area.
And that's the thing, right? It's not just helping people anywhere is good, and I would absolutely applaud anybody who does anything to help folks. But helping our own neighbors who are right here with us in town, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's the best part of it to me is that it's gonna happen locally. It'll be a local family or families that'll get the food, that'll get the money or get presents for their kids. That's the part that I like most about it.
Yeah, I mean, because we did this last year just because, like, we realized that there were people, especially with the pandemic going on, that people were out of work, and they said that they actually had like a really high number of requests for Angel Tree last year and the year before, just because of those kinds of situations. So it was, I wanted to like. Luckily, like me personally, I've never had to have any of those kind of situations as a kid or even as an adult and as a dad, you know what I mean? But some people, it's just tough for them to keep the power on, let alone do something else for their kids. So that's what I wanted to be able to help out from there.
I mean, I would love it if Dustin would skip Kusacon and just come do it with us.
Yeah, that's a big negative.
Yeah, that's a big old nig.
So will you
Not
ever do it
happening.
again, Dustin?
Sorry, my wife came in here. What was that now?
I said, will you ever do the one chip again?
No. Actually, this guy that follows us on Instagram, Grub with Grainer, he does a lot of snack and food reviews and stuff, and he watches our channel and stuff like that. So I had bought something from him. Oh, he made his own taco seasoning, and so I bought some of it, and he sent me like a bunch of other stuff with it, and one of them was another one of the one chips, and he said, I want to see how this goes. Now that you know not to sniff it and rub your face and stuff like that, and see how it goes. Now, I'm like, no, I'm not doing it again. Not happening.
That's perfectly reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, I huffed so much of the dust off of that chip straight up my nose and sucked it down my throat immediately. I mean, I was doomed right there. But I mean, my eye was like bleeding for probably 4 or 5 days afterwards.
Your eye looked bad.
Yeah, it got really, really bad. And
The
the
fact that you
taste of
said
it,
that
though,
it bled, man, and I still did the chip challenge, and I feel so mad at myself. But then, like, because like I remember last year, and you was like, yeah, my eye bled, and I think you said it was like for almost like a week, and I was like, oh hell no, like I'm never doing this chip challenge, like never ever.
yeah.
And here I am, like the next year, like on the list, like, oh yeah, we're doing it, but we're doing it for the kids. Yeah.
If they made it taste better this year, then that will help immensely. To me,
Well, Alan could tell
it
us.
was the most disgusting thing I've ever eaten, and that was where a lot of the gagging was coming from, because I was just like, it tastes so bad, and it's so stale that it sticks in your teeth. So chewing it up, I mean, is horrible. You can't get out of your teeth. I mean, for 2 or 3 days, I would floss, and then I would get,
just
there's
one
that hot
tiny little
sensation coming back.
microscopic
Yeah, set
piece
you
of
right
that.
back on fire.
So I don't know how we're going to be set up Saturday, but I'm telling you right now, there needs to be a garbage can close by. And because here's the thing, it does not taste any better. And it's just like it was last time. It turns into like a mushy, nasty, wet cardboard paste into your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people can make fun of me if they want to. I don't care. I'm telling you right now, the chip will be going in my mouth. It will be getting chewed up, but even I don't know if it's getting swallowed. I'm just going to be honest with you.
And we're going to have a Baskin Robbins food truck, ice cream truck right there, just in case it goes real bad.
Yeah, don't drink any water with it because that just makes it worse. Definitely go straight for the ice cream. No water, the milk, none of that's going to help at all. Water.
Wyatt's taking notes. He's like, "What milk?"
It's like adding gasoline to a fire and
Listen.
saying, "Why is this not going out?" And I wasn't smart enough to look into that beforehand because I've always eaten hot stuff. I mean, my mom, we would go to Mexican restaurants and my mom would tell. I ordered nachos one time. And I told him I wanted them extra spicy. And he's like, how spicy? And my mom looked at him and was like, you're not going to be able to make it too spicy for him to eat. And he was like, I think we can. And she said, no, I'm telling you, you can't. And they brought me this tray of nachos. It was nothing but red and yellow flakes. I mean, it was just covered in it. So I was like, this is not going to be that big a deal. It's going to be no problem. But you expect it to like break like a tortilla chip when you bite into it, and it doesn't.
Okay, no, I would expect that. So that's a surprise to me.
It doesn't break like you would hope. It sticks into your teeth. So as you're chewing on it, it's like coating the sharp parts of your teeth. So it makes it even harder to chew it. And oh my gosh, everything about it just sucks though. Just sucks.
Well, hang on one sec. We have got a master. If he's like the heat miser of spicy food. We got the one and only Tots.
What's up, y'all?
So something that Perry said, and Tots and Dustin both have done this, so they can definitely testify to this. You can't hurry up and swallow it. The reason being is it dries your mouth out almost instantly, and you've got no choice but to chew it until it turns into that mushy paste and then swallow it.
Yeah, there's no saliva left.
I mean, you're done.
It automatically incinerates all the saliva in your mouth. Is that what it is?
Yeah, pretty much so.
It's kind of like the spoonful of cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Have you done that one too?
Oh, nope, no, I haven't done that one. I'm just gonna stay away from challenges with you guys. That's what I've come to the understanding.
Oh,
I told Nick, I was like, for the kids, let's just write a check. I would just write a check. I wouldn't eat the chip.
Have you done it yet?
Me? No. I got.
So it will turn your tongue.
Are you gonna eat all those?
Well, no, I'm bringing them Saturday.
Okay, I was like, maybe you were just a glutton for punishment. I don't know.
Yeah, that thing's no joke. It does turn your tongue blue. I walked around with a blue tongue at work this morning for a good 45 minutes.
What did that have to do with the chip?
The chip actually turns your tongue blue.
Are you sure it wasn't just snozzberries?
Well, you know.
Does it turn everything blue on the way out? Is that how that works?
Man, look.
It's purple. Blue plus red equals purple.
Plus the red blood. Is that... you guys are insane.
It's not that bad. It's fun.
It's not that
Yeah,
bad.
okay.
See, yeah, there you go. Wyatt keeps hoisting that beer, and people are like, "Man, I'm jealous of that beer because that sucker, he's got the full up stein and everything." It's
yeah, man, it's well, I got to hydrate now, considering what's happening on Saturday.
Yeah, hydrate before you dihydrate.
Need to carb load.
So I figure I'm going to do it this year, and then I'm going to do it next year, and then I'm retiring because I'm not going to be doing stupid stuff like this after I turn 50.
Listen, we got to find something else to do. I love the kids. However, yeah, we got to find something else to do. We're going to find something that's going to be a little bit more like
skydive.
something else to do. Something else.
Yeah, because I'm out on that one too. I'm not
Yeah,
even.
bro,
I'm not getting on an airplane to fly somewhere, much less
to
jump
drop
out.
to jump out of something. Yeah.
My
You can
character might skydive in D&D, but that's going to be about it.
Man,
You know what?
listen,
I think me and him will just plan next year's together, and we'll let Josh and everybody know what's going to happen. Because it sounds like we're on the same wavelength of
yeah,
of
jumping
thought
out of
process.
planes for what? Like it still works, right? So
Let's jump out of the plane and eat the chip on the way down.
listen,
Now we're talking.
Now, see,
No,
you would have
every
so much
time
spice in your face.
I talk to people who jump out of airplanes, and these guys, I used to work with a guy who did it all the time. And I'm like, why in the world would you jump out of a perfectly good airplane? He's like, there is no such thing as a perfectly good airplane. They're
It's
all
good
got
enough.
something wrong with them. I'm like,
It's good
okay,
enough
you're
to
jumping
fly,
out
yeah.
of one that hasn't got anything wrong with it right this minute. But that's what he did for fun, man. That was his thing.
So I did purchase the Bean Boozled Spicy Jelly Bean game.
That's fun.
And I mean, I want to do that. So
Really?
yeah, I actually want to do that. I want to try it. I mean, really, a jelly bean made out of Carolina Reaper.
Oh, have you had spicy jelly beans or spicy gummy bears before?
Nope, have not.
They are hotter than the chip.
Oh well, hell yeah, let's do that because the chip's nasty. At least this is going to taste somewhat decent, hopefully.
Yeah, it does taste pretty good.
You
No,
talking
I
about
got it.
getting stuck in your mouth and stuck in your teeth and stuff like. I mean, think about a
That's
gummy
what
bear,
I'm
dude, or a
thinking.
jelly
I'm
bean.
with you
Oh,
on that.
man.
I don't.
Y'all got
does
it.
not sound right to me.
The little nitro gummy bears, like 8 million Scoville. That was fun.
What?
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
You gotta die from something, Alan. Come on.
I think 2 million Scoville is about my limit, and I'll stick right around there. I'm not going above that.
Man,
Oh, well.
so let's talk a little bit about Saturday and what's going on, right? So Wyatt and Jeremy Bernard, I'm guessing it was the two of you, or maybe it was Alan. One of y'all said, "Hey, why don't we do this thing?" And then it kind of blew up from there, right? So
Yeah, it was so Jeremy, so I think we were talking about at one time I wanted to do like the hot ones challenge, right? And then because like I thought that would be easier than you know what I mean, doing the one chip challenge. And then Jeremy was really good, and because like I wanted to do something so that we could get more people to get involved for the donation. He's like, we could always do the one chip challenge like we did last time, and that got and that really was successful because I think you guys raised like $1,400.
we did, yeah, sure did.
And so I was like, cool, that would be even greater for that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that for the kids. I'm going to do it for the kids. You know what I mean? And so when that happened, then that's how we kind of got started from there. And so then it just kind of took off from that point.
And that's how Wyatt died.
See,
well, he better not, because then Letitia is going to come and kill all of us.
Yeah, Nat
management will rain down fire on us.
Nat told me that like I couldn't die and that I needed to be all right, and because we're getting married in like 23 days, so she was like, you need to be all right so that we can go ahead and get this marriage thing going.
You'll be
You better
almost
get that
cleared
taste
out
out of your mouth before you have to kiss the bride.
Yeah, she doesn't want to do any of that too. So yeah, so
secondhand chip. Oh, I bet that's worse.
I'm telling you, man, with the glove and the one bite, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's a couple minutes and it's fine.
Couple minutes, my ass.
Shut up, Alan.
Of course, I
No,
made
that's
it worse
later,
too, 'cause I immediately went and brushed my teeth with minty toothpaste too.
That's
so,
a bad idea.
yeah,
That's a
like
bad
I did,
idea.
like anything you could do that was like gonna make this
Wrong.
the worst experience. I did them one after another. Right? I mean, just everything.
When you did it and you started chugging that milk, the first thing I thought was, oh, he's going to puke. With the second you started chugging that milk, I was like, it's over. We're done. This stream's going downhill fast now.
That was so much
Yeah.
fun to watch too, though.
It
because there
was.
was no cutting away. The camera was just there. So when he got up and bolted, it's like, oh my God, no. I felt kind of bad laughing at your pain, but I laughed, and I laughed hard, and I've laughed every time I've watched it since. Which I've more than once, I'm going to tell you, because it's funny.
I definitely
But,
went into it thinking that it was definitely not going to go that way for sure. No thought in my mind about it being anywhere near that bad. Thought I'd get
No,
through
you had
reading
the
the
bluster.
comic,
You
no
you had the
problem.
confidence. You went in full of confidence.
There was a lot of confidence.
Yep. It's just like I was
It's like-
like, I've never put something in my mouth that. I mean, we were partying at some friend's house, and his mom grew peppers and stuff, and so he brings out like these ghost peppers, and I'm about 30 in at this point, and I just start pulling them out of the jar. I'm standing on the four-wheeler, like 30 people standing around daring me to do it, and I start eating them, and no problem. You know, I'm like, this will be fine. No issue here. Yeah, I was
Wrong.
So
Well, when you got the dust up your nostrils,
yeah,
you were toast from that minute. From that second, you were already in trouble because
I don't understand what made me think that would be a good idea. I was like, I wonder how bad it's like. I wonder if it's got that burn your nose sensation. Oh yeah, hell yeah, it burned everything.
I'm pretty sure if you dig around on the Pocky website, there's a instructional video of how not to ingest this chip, and it's just a clip of you smelling the bag. Oh man, this is great. Oh, I'm
Do
gonna
not
rub my
do
eyes
this.
now.
do not do this. Yeah, I can see that. That would
Yep.
be hilarious.
It's like
You actually should get with those guys and
Right?
sell that so that they can do exactly that, because that would be hysterical.
Yeah.
like the old Goofus and Gallant comic in Highlights magazine.
Right.
Speaking of people selling stuff, right? Y'all know Larry, local guy who does comic book cleaning and pressing. He's owned a few comic stores over the years, all that stuff. Larry always has been big into heavy metal. Motley Crue was his favorite growing up, but Metallica, all those guys, right? Well, he and his buddy Daryl were going to start their own band, which was Macabre, or as he pronounced it, Macabre.
Macabre. So they made a movie about their band, right?
No, hang on. This gets funnier. So they got, I think Daryl must have had a video camera back in the day, and I'm talking like 1986, 87, 89, somewhere in that ballpark. I think it was 88, 89, somewhere in there. Well, they're walking around their neighborhood, and they walk down to Sunburst Records, and they go across the street to the gas station. But they got the video camera going the whole time, and Larry is just talking to the video camera the whole time, right? Well, that video surfaces every now and again on YouTube, but whatever you may think of them, and I know a lot of people hate them. I personally don't know one thing, I care one way or the other, but whatever you think of them, the band Nickelback found that video, got it from them, interspersed it with their new video for a song called Those Days, which is just about nostalgia. I mean, it opens with them walking up to an old house, opening the garage door, and all their band stuff is in there. And they go and they hook it all in and dust it all off, and then they play the song. But Larry and Daryl's video is just interspersed within that. So if you want to get some good little bits of old Huntsville in the late 80s, early 90s of these guys walking around and stuff, it's a hoot. It's really funny. It's really cool.
Yeah, I've watched the video, and it's a really good song.
It is a good song. I enjoyed it.
The clips that they used of Larry and them, I mean, it was like perfect. It was like it was meant for this video.
Yeah, looking at the T-shirts at Sunburst Records and just flipping through all the records and all that stuff. Yeah, it was really cool. But that was fun. But that's in the same vein as that. You should totally contact the Packy Chip people and say, "Hey, you guys want something funny? Better yet, give it to them as the whole product and just get Nick to edit it so that it does exactly that." You guys might make a little bit of money off of it.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea for sure.
Profit from your suffering.
So who posted this, you or Nick?
I did, and it was mainly just because Nick hasn't answered the text message that I asked him about us doing it tomorrow from 3 days ago. So I've just hoped maybe he would see it there and respond.
He's too busy reading the. Does Austin LeMay work for the Packy Chip people?
He does.
Does he?
He does.
I didn't know that.
Okay, well, look,
Man,
dude,
you've already got an in.
we need to get Austin LeMay on here because, like I said, I ate the one chip this morning, and here's my bone to pick with Packy, and it's the same bone that I wanted to pick with him last year. It is 2022. There is no reason for that chip to taste that god awful.
Well, they do that on purpose. You know that.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost like God said, "Hey, I want something to taste awful," and Packy said, "We got you covered. We'll take care of this." It could taste like cookies and cream, y'all. We could make it just as hot and taste just like cookies and cream.
But
Something.
then your suffering wouldn't be as amusing.
You don't want to do that.
Hey, look, who posted that? Don't make me pull you on here. He's laughing.
But anyway, let's go back to Saturday real quick, right?
Yep.
So Saturday at 1:00, we're doing this one chip challenge. We're going to have several of you crazy people outside sitting out front of Haven. Y'all are going to eat this chip in front of God and everybody, and we're going to videotape it, or we're going to have it on film the whole time. We're going to stream it. We've got the Nomads Road Dogs food truck setting up and selling hot dogs. Y'all, they posted a picture tonight of a chili cheese dog with macaroni and cheese on top of it that looked amazing. I love a good hot dog. I'm all about it.
But I'm not going to be able to eat anything after this.
Well, you just eat those first because you don't want to go in on that chip on an empty stomach. That's the problem.
Do not eat before the chip. Eat before the chip.
Right. So, yes, right here. Ryan's calling it. Like, he's gonna be slamming those hot dogs. Absolutely, because they're gonna be awesome. But Ryan, I do have those ASM books pulled aside set for you. They are in box 11. That's our hold box. But I pulled those 3 that you had on your list that you have gaps for. I've got those aside for you. So take a look. If you want them, you got first dibs. So we have the food truck. We have you guys doing your foolishness. We have the hot dog food truck. We have the Baskin Robbins ice cream truck. So you got lunch and dessert right there. We've got a food drive for Manna House going on. So bring in non-perishable food items. If you're bringing in things with cans, if you can do pop tops instead of ones that require a can opener, non-perishables like peanut butter. Especially things that you don't have to have another ingredient or another something to cook with, for example, something you can eat out of a can. Pork and beans, Chef Boyardee, any of that stuff, because a lot of the folks who really need this stuff, they don't have a kitchen. They don't have access to things that we take for granted. So bring those things. Do not, under any circumstances, bring stuff that is expired. Don't bring stuff that is about to expire. Don't bring something you wouldn't eat. I mean, it's fine to bring in some canned asparagus that somebody gave you, whatever, but don't bring in something you wouldn't eat. Just think, if this was you that needed help, what would you want to see? Bring that. And as part of that, we have a raffle going on, and we got prizes out the yin yang. Yes, 1,000 cans, 10,000 cans of Spam would be amazing. Never going to go bad. It tastes good on its own, fried with cheese, without. Yeah, Spam's actually really good. But we have an incredible raffle. And everything you bring in for the food drive gets you a ticket for the raffle. Every $5 you donate to Angel Tree gets you a ticket for the raffle. And the raffle prizes we've got are pretty astounding. We've got all kinds of stuff from all kinds of places. We've got a box of Pokemon cards was just announced today, from a full booster box of Pokemon cards from the local Poke Collect, I think they're called, store.
Right on.
You'd like that. We've got a VIP pass and a pair of regular tickets to Concasterburus, Conque, the Doctor Who convention. It's more than just Doctor Who these days, but that's what it started as. We got a pair of tickets to the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. I don't remember what they were. There were some kind of electronic gizmos that Jeremy Brunau posted a few days ago. Christine May has made this really cool Disney-themed blanket that wraps up into a pillow. It's complex looking, but super cool. And she always does cool stuff. We got all kinds of stuff. And on top of all of that, we're also going to be having a sale at the store. So we're going to have back issues on sale, collectibles on sale, all that stuff. So in short, Saturday is going to be flipping amazing, and you need to be there.
There's also going to be stuff from like the Blurred Syndicate that we're raffling as well. So like if say for instance there's a t-shirt that you want on the website, we're going to be able to have that for you as well. So and speaking of t-shirts, Todd's got one on from here.
Yeah,
Todd,
let's embiggen Tots. Tots, we're going to embiggen you. Hold on a second here.
Yeah, I didn't get mine ordered in time. It won't be here.
so yeah.
All spice, nothing nice.
Hey,
Spice.
turn around so they can see the back.
Oh, there's something on the back too?
Yeah, so it has like a lot of the different sponsors on there.
That's awesome.
So
man, you guys kill it with these shirts.
So yeah, we try to do what we can.
So let's do this right quick. We've got, I'm showing like 8 people watching. Is that correct? Do you see that, Josh?
Yeah, at the moment.
So, and this is for anybody that jumps on the stream. I'm looking at it right now, and we are at $785 raised. The first person or any person that can get us to $800 raised, I'll give you your choice of 2 of these graphic novels, and I will either.
Hang on, let's embiggen you because you're with this many people on here. You're too small.
Oh, I am. Oh, that was sweet. Nobody's ever called me too small before. So
I'm going to start calling you lowercase from now on.
Oh, great! Now he's got a fat head. That's what we needed.
Let me try to get these fanned out some so you can see the garbage I'm trying to get rid of. I'm sorry, the quality books I'm trying to get rid of. I will give you your choice of 2 of these graphic novels. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy, Jean Grey. What else we have over here? We got Black Bolt, Astonishing X-Men, Defenders, Generation X. And all I'm asking is for somebody to get us $15 more. I'm showing us at $785 right now.
Well, apparently you need to refresh, Alan.
You know what? I need to refresh.
Nick Ellis. Nicholas Ellis.
Oh, that punk! I was just trying to get my my PayPal was just loading. He beat me to it.
Okay, so it's taking forever to refresh.
But while we're talking comic books, let's talk about comic books for a second, because there's a couple of cool things going on here, right? So one. I'm going to make myself a little bit bigger here. Let's go to this layout so you guys don't all disappear. There we go. This week, we got Batman number 129.
Woohoo!
Fail safe.
Y'all, this story has been so good. And it continues to be good. This is a fun book. Chip Zdarsky is doing great stuff. This one, I was really on the fence. Now, I invited the writer and artist of this book to come on the show tonight. I pulled an Alan and just randomly said, hey, you want to come on the show? He, of course, declined because he's not here. But
that's kind of what happens to me, too.
Yeah, well, he declined by ignoring it, right? He never saw it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was like, I don't know what this is going to be. Is this going to be good? Is this going to be terrible? Is this just going to be something kind of in between and weird? I don't know. Batman the Joker, Deadly Duo by Mark Silvestri. Man, Mark Silvestri's run on the X-Men back in the day, his run on Wolverine were the best. Absolutely the best. Nobody did it better. And I throw Jim Lee into that mix too. I think his X-Men run was just stupendous. His Wolverine run was phenomenal. But this book he's been working on this off and on for 10 years. And when he finished it, he went to his buddy Jim Lee and said, hey, I got this story I want to do. And he's like, all right. And so now they're publishing it. So it shouldn't be coming out late or anything. It should be all done on time. But the artwork in this book is gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous. Like you want to sit and study it for a while. So much stuff going on. We got in a bunch of copies at the store because I thought this was going to likely be good. And after I read it, I'm glad I did because this is really, really a good start. And I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Long story short, somebody kidnaps Harley Quinn, and the Joker desperately wants to get her back and needs help to do it, and goes to Batman. And there's all these dudes running around who look like the Joker has been mixed with various other people, like like demented versions of different characters, kind of loosely. It's creepy. It's creepy. Like they're super strong. They're super fast. They've got all these powers that Joker doesn't have and Batman doesn't have. And where did they come from? Really good book. Now, Alan was on here a couple weeks ago talking about this book. And tell people about this one again, real quick, Alan.
Okay, so the premise of this book is basically the kid that saved the world grew up to have a lot of issues over saving the world, and now the threat is back. Once he started fighting that threat again, it basically sobered him up, took care of his drug problems, everything. And the really cool thing about this book is what can destroy the world is actually posing as superheroes. So the only way that he can fight them is to pose as the villain in this society. So it's kind of a role reversal. The bad guy is actually the good guy. The good guys are actually the bad guys.
Here's the thing, though. Alan talked this up so hard on the show a couple weeks ago that we sold out of it, and we sold out of number 2 before he could get it.
Exactly. So look, I love the fact that
Hold on, so you got yourself to a point where you were going to get the book, and they were like, "Oh nope, sorry." You know.
That's all right. We had more copies come in this week, Alan. I
So,
made sure one went in your box.
And the same thing happened with another book. I talked it up, and Dead Mall. I didn't get a copy of Dead Mall either.
To be fair, some of those I think were damaged, if I remember right.
Because I remember I looked at Davis and I'm like, hey, if people are really going to do what I tell them to do and go buy comics, I'm not going to tell them until after I get my copy first.
That's fair. Now, this one we bought a few comics out of a collection. The lady didn't want to sell the whole thing, but she sold a handful of books to us. Some early ASMs, a G.I. Joe #1, a G.I. Joe #2, good Daredevil issue. I want to say 146, 148, one of those. About 11, 12 books out of the 1,000 that she had that she was willing to part with. And among those was this book, which I have been wanting for a long time. But like Dustin always says, I don't want to just buy it on eBay or something. I want to find it. Right?
Yeah.
And I've been after this one for a long time. Is it in great shape? No, it is not. But is it still a book that I have wanted for a long time? And now I finally have? Yes, it is. And yes, I do.
Nice.
Right on, man. Right on. I just got my copy back a couple of months
It is written
ago.
on. It says, looks like 15D is what it says there on the cover.
That's awesome.
So I know who posted this, and to answer your question, no, I was not subscribed to Banished. I was so excited about the book, I actually forgot to subscribe to the book. I'm subscribed now.
Look at this. This is great, Al. The accusation.
Yeah.
Oh.
You need to acknowledge Nick's other comment he dropped in there in the chat pertaining to you, Josh.
Will that be this one?
Yeah. I mean, everybody else is eating these hot chips for the kids and, putting their body on the line. I mean, this wouldn't even be physical harm to you. I think it would be something that would be, fairly easy. And what have we been saying all day? It's for the kids, right?
It's for the kids, man.
Kids.
It is for the kids.
It's just hair. It'll come back.
It'll grow back. I cut my hair off after 3 years, man.
Right?
I'm going to say this. First of all, I just got this haircut that I have now. But I will say this. I have had my head shaved before for a role. I played Frankenstein's monster in a local theater production. And that is not good. That is not a good look for me.
Well,
I'm not a small man.
Dustin. I got him. So, man,
in the back of my head looks like a roll of hot dogs.
That's still going to be covered in hair because it's just from here up.
Yeah, so you don't even have to worry about that part, man. And plus, you know what I mean? You have a beard now, and so you're older, so now it's going to look a little bit more. How do I want to say? Just more, distinguished. You're gonna be like, you know. So go ahead and do it, man.
Yeah.
for the kids.
Just cut
For the
off the
kids.
hair from here forward. Is that?
Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of other guys here on YouTube that have done it recently. I've seen you some pictures. I mean,
They look great.
I mean, Nick and I would even volunteer to bring recording equipment up to the shop and do it ourselves and record it, so it's a lasting memory for you, and you can send that on for everyone to enjoy too. You know.
That was a rough time. They shaved the beard the whole nine. Yeah, it was not a good look for me. But I was going to ask Dustin.
He smoothed the Clyde. It's like, listen, we're not going to even talk about this.
I know a guy who is a chiropractor for comics. I've heard, and I'm wondering what that guy could do with this.
Hey,
It's in terrible shape. I mean, look at this bottom corner. You got the fold there.
mm-hmm.
You got the writing on the cover there.
I saw your
man.
I saw your video, Dustin, where you guessed it with your brother, where you took a couple of those and you guessed them, and then after that you brought them up. So kudos, man. I definitely liked it.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Been definitely working very consistently every day and putting a lot of work into it to continue to learn and perfect it as much as possible. So I appreciate it.
What has been what has there been anything about it that has surprised you?
The amount of patience I'm able to have with something when I actually enjoy it.
Fair enough.
It takes an immense amount of patience cleaning these books, especially like Silver Age DC for some reason has been a bane of a set of books for me to work on. I don't know what it is about that paper, but it is very, very tedious to work with. But I don't consider myself to be a very patient person in any way at all. But you have to be in order to clean these books properly and get every tiny little thing off of them. And yeah, it definitely surprises me that I'm able to do that. But I mean, I enjoy doing it.
So what's Nick throwing this out here for? What is this?
So I was thinking about changing the name from something a little less gimmicky to sound a little more professional. And because something I say all the time is when I get a book, my goal is to make sure that I've gotten every point out of that book, that nobody will ever come behind me and crack that book and be able to get a half a point, nothing. I don't want to leave any scraps for anybody to ever improve on my work. So I was going to change it to every point pressing and cleaning, just so it sounded a little more professional and it was a little easier to find. But I put a poll up on the Instagram for the Comic Book Chiropractor Instagram, and it was a resounding no. Don't change anything. So I guess we're going to keep it the same.
I would agree with that because this tells me what you do, and it's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Plus,
See, and
you've got
I was
that
kind of thinking that,
or you've got the alliteration there with the Comic Book Chiropractor.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe it was a little bit too long of a name and people wouldn't remember it. But I mean, apparently I was completely wrong. So I was glad to know that I was at least, one of them was good. So I was right the first time.
I mean, both of them are really good, to be honest with you. But I think the Comic Book Chiropractor makes it so that you can be able to really, it just sticks in your mind a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it makes you think. I think of it more as a personable person versus like every point. Sometimes you can think that there's just somebody there trying to get the points, which is good for you, but it lacks that personality.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate that.
So since we have multiple guests on and we do like talking about comics, what books are you reading right now? And we'll just all three of y'all tell us what books you're reading right now.
Right now I'm reading baby books, getting ready for another kid. So I kind of had to take some time
You already
off.
had one. Did you forget?
Yeah, man, but that was like 11 years ago. Stuff has changed. And now it's a girl too. Like beforehand with the boy, I could be like, hey, you fell down
for millions of years.
Yeah, man, but like it's different for boys and girls. So, if like as far as when Ben fell, I'd be like, hey, get up, you all right. You know what I mean? And now there's whole other stuff that you got to deal with.
So
you got two other fathers of little girls on here. You guys can talk about that.
So I've got a boy and a girl. And when it comes to being a girl dad, There is not a book out there that is going to prepare you for this. The second she comes out and opens her eyes and looks at you, it is done. You are destroyed for the rest of your life. Accept it. Go back to reading comics. You'll be much happier.
I'm working on it. I just finished because I was trying to catch up on like the powers of X and things like that. So I had done that, like, because I wanted to go back so that I could be able to catch up. But that was about it. I haven't really been reading a whole lot recently though.
All right, Dustin, what you reading now?
Only thing I've been reading is just chipping along at the Fantastic Four Volume 1 stuff. So
How far into it are you?
I think I'm in the 60s now finally. So
Okay, you got a ways to go.
yeah, I mean, I've definitely not been able to stick to the 3 a day because any spare time I have, I'm working on pressing and cleaning books. So it's very seldom that I do get to read, but I actually downloaded a bunch onto my iPad so that while we were at the cabin in the middle of nowhere this past weekend with zero service, I was able to knock a lot of it out there too and be able to read a bunch there. But yeah, I'm still chipping along at that and still enjoying it. It's still absolutely my favorite thing that I've ever read in any kind of comic. Nothing that I've read so far has been able to have me as excited to get to the next one as reading through the Silver Age Fantastic Four right now. So,
Well, I told you, I think you saw it when the spinner rack said they were going to Kusacon, and you said you best bring some good stuff. I was like, by good stuff, he means early Fantastic Four.
That's right. That's right.
That's what he means. I know good stuff can be very general to you. He means early Fantastic Four. Bring that.
That's right. I want that first Frightful Four. That was some of the best issues I've read lately. Was the Frightful Four stuff where they take and they're in control of the Thing and the Human Torch. I never thought that I'd really care much for that team, but they've actually been really good. So yeah, that's not happening, Nick.
It is memorable. Everybody will remember.
You and Ryan can start your own thing and go that route if you want to, but nah.
All right, so Tots, what are you reading right now that does not involve Deadpool?
Oh man, no. So
Deadpool #1 just came out this week, Tots. The new Deadpool #1, and people have been really passé about Deadpool for a while. They're like, okay, I'm over it.
Suckers.
People are excited about this one.
How could you not be excited? So these days I've been reading punch lists for construction and then presentations for work. And that's pretty much it. Most of my collection is in a box under a table in the corner of my bedroom. But I've been trying to catch up with my Saga compendium. So
I got that too.
yeah,
I'm pretty far in that too.
It was
Whoa. He's pulling out the good stuff here. Let's hang on.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to interrupt.
Put that back.
Nick, I just saw Nick put that in the chat, so I was just gonna get it ready. I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, bring it on, man. I saw it now. It's got to come out.
So
pepper down, Josh. It's a family show.
So a friend of mine that I do a comic book and wrestling show with, he had these Tolkien books that he was trying to get rid of, and he knew Nick was getting into that stuff, and he wanted some comic books pressed and clean. So Nick paid me to press and clean books for him so that he could send Nick these books. So he got this. These are like a paperback style.
Yep. Box set, yeah.
So, he's got all three of those there. I don't know why. I hate this camera sometimes. It won't focus, but all three of the Lord of the Rings books are in there. The paperback style. These things they're pretty old.
Yep.
And I'm not sure. I think that this other set over here is so this is the I don't even know what printing this is, but that's those. And then he also got this big set here of hardcovers, and this has like maps inside and all kind of stuff inside of these. Let's see.
Dustin, we're gonna have to talk wrestling later on too, man.
So you got these cool hardcovers here,
That
and-
font almost looks like the Harry Potter font on the
right?
front. That's troublesome.
What I always think is cool, like a lot of people don't look, but you take the dust cover off of a hardcover and see what's underneath. That's the first thing I always want to do is see what the actual book looks like under the dust covers. But yeah, these have maps in the back. Trying to be easy and gentle.
That's okay. If you bend it, you can press it out later.
But you see, this has got like the maps in the back of it.
I surely do wish the Rings of Power people had consulted those maps.
Right? If I can get it to...
I would have done torn that so many times.
Yeah, I'm trying real hard not to.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
So, but apparently this set here, the hardcovers, is apparently pretty sought after. It says it's a revised edition.
Yeah.
And... Oh, this is the second edition of this set. Copyright.
No, that's awesome. That's a
1965.
phenomenal pickup.
1965. So Nick thought those, I guess, would go really good with that Hobbit book he picked up from the Spinner Rack people.
Yep. Now, I need you to look at the camera because I want you to see this comment that Jeremy Bruneau threw up here.
Ooh. Okay. That sounds like a lot of funds that would be necessary, but I would definitely be intrigued to talk about it for sure, because that's what I've been looking for.
You might could get a better deal on it than you think, because the source of that book is cursed, and Jeremy doesn't want to.
Okay.
He doesn't want to have it in his possession.
Or maybe I mean, I don't know if he'd be willing to look at, trading and some cash, but hit me up and let me know, man. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, he very well might.
So, Jeremy, I'll give you 140 for the book, and Dustin, I'll sell it to you for 150.
If you get it for 140, I'll give you 200 for it.
Faux show.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, if you're, hit me up before you send it off to be regraded. If it's undergraded, I'd rather buy it undergraded.
Yeah, I think he sent it off already, but
okay.
Let's go back to something you were talking about, Tots. You were saying that you've been reading construction punch lists and things because you guys were getting your kitchen redone and all that stuff. And I know that pain very well.
Where sounds like it's
how
over.
many months in are you guys?
Contract started in February and work was almost May-ish. We were supposed to be done in July.
And it's still not done.
Right. We're close. We got, a couple things left to do. just a handful.
Oh my Lord.
I hate working on punch list stuff.
Oh,
I'm
ouch. Ouch.
Guys.
Alan, gauntlet thrown.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's not happening because, like I said at the beginning of the show, the chip's going in my mouth. It's getting chewed up, but even I don't know if it's getting swallowed.
Well, not only that, but those things are like $15 a piece, so that's like way
Well, I
beyond
bet
the
Tots
price of that book.
Tots can get a deal on them.
That's like $2,500.
Yeah, that's way beyond the price of that book.
Yeah, I got mine at the Mapco this morning. I got one at the Mapco this morning. It's only like $7.50.
Oh, really? I paid like $15 for the one I bought last year.
Yeah, but also look where you live.
Well, I bought it somewhere on the way to Kentucky. So
You sure the one that you bought wasn't coated in meth?
Oh man, I don't know
like,
that would have
this
made it
tastes
worse
funny.
or not.
But I like it.
He's in here.
This tastes so weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
And we're making great time to Kentucky, too.
Oh, crap, my tooth fell out.
Yeah.
All right, so for folks that have been watching the show the past couple of weeks, I've had like a little segment that I've really enjoyed, and I'm going to do that little segment right now since we were just talking about what everybody's reading. I've got 3 books with me. And okay, so I'm getting a big one. So right off the bat, let's jump on Detective Comics here. Which one was this? This was issue 1065. I got to be honest, the first couple of issues that, I don't know, is his name Ram V, Ram 5?
Ram V.
Yeah, Ram V.
Ram.
The first couple of issues that he took over on this, I did not like at all. It was just, I thought they were dumb. I thought they were boring. I thought they were god awful. He's on track now. This was a great issue. It's really the 1064 and now 1065 have both been really good. So if you're wanting a little bit of, there's almost a Frank Miller vibe to a little bit of it, but not much. But that also might be some of the art, the way Batman's drawn in a few panels. Story's getting really good. This one's actually a pretty good and violent book. There's some really good fighting, and we get the League of Assassins, and I cannot remember his name, but one particular member of the League of Assassins, when he shows up, looks friggin' phenomenal, the way they drew him with his mask and everything. So Detective Comics 1065. This one, you know, I got to go with DC, I got to go with Marvel, and I got to go with Independent. So here's my Marvel. I've never been truly a big fan of annuals. But the one thing that I do like about annuals is it's a one-shot. You get the full story, and then you're done. This was a great story from beginning to end. This was, if y'all liked Werewolf by Night on any level, if you like Moon Knight on any level, you will love this book. This is definitely a must-read. It'll be one of those books that you're happy you bought. The only reason why I'm telling y'all about this is because I actually got my copy of this one.
You must have been subscribed to that one.
Oh, yeah, I subscribed to that one. Now, this was an impulse buy, and y'all do know I love a good independent comic book. Halloween Seekers of the Seven Keys by Opus Comics.
That looks awesome.
So the thing about this is, for people my age that were into metal and are still into metal, will remember the band Halloween. They actually come out with a concept album called Keeper of the Seven Keys. So this is a play off of that. It kind of goes along with the album. There are a couple of things in the book that I did not like, but it was more story-wise, the way they told the story. Overall, for people my age that listen to 80s metal and everything, this is a really good nostalgia buy. I think it's just a one-shot. I haven't heard anything else about it. If it is just a one-shot, it's great. I mean, they literally, the story that they're telling, they tell in it. It definitely has an 80s vibe with the 2 kids that's centered around in the book. So if you're looking for a nostalgia buy, something that'll kind of remind you of the good old headbanging days when we all had long hair, definitely pick up Halloween Seeker of the Seven Keys. And I still think there was a couple of issues left on the shelf last time I was in the store. Like I said, this was an impulse buy, and I'm glad I did it.
Right on.
Todd sounds like he wants to make that same impulse buy.
Do what?
That's awesome. Yeah.
Todd was like, "Oh, that looks awesome." The minute you pulled that up, he was liking that.
Yeah, it's definitely got a. I know this is going to sound weird, but it's a cross between Dungeons and Dragons and Wizard of Oz vibe. Mm-hmm. You know, just the way it starts out, the way it happens, the way everybody's reacting. So, I mean, it's a really cool thing. Like I said, a couple of little minor story points. It was just in the flow of the story and what they were telling. I was kind of, I think they could have done a little better job on. But, I mean, if we sit down and nitpick, we could actually do that to every single comic book that's on the shelves today. We could pick a story apart in a heartbeat. Great nostalgia buy. I'm happy I bought the book. I'm happy it's in the collection.
Speaking of buying comics and such, the comic market itself is in kind of a weird place right now. It went through a boom, right? Where coming out of COVID, or when not even coming out during COVID,
yeah,
everybody's locked up in their houses. They looked through their closets and they found their old comics. And we're like, oh my god, I remember these. These are great. And they read them and said, oh, these are fantastic. I need to get back to these. And comic book sales went way up. comic book prices went way up, and now prices have corrected pretty hard. And in some cases, they've corrected way harder than I think they should. In other cases, some books are still up in the stratosphere, and I'm not sure they're coming down. But Dustin, I know you've been paying a lot of attention to that particularly. What's your take on where the comic book market is right now?
Well, Nick and I did a video when all that was going on, and we talked about the fact that we knew there was no way that what was happening right then with literally, it seemed like every day you were having new records that were being set on books across the board, not just your major keys 181 and
Well, that ASM
Amazing
101,
Fantasy.
that ASM #1 that sold for what, 3.6 million.
Yeah, I mean, not just that kind of stuff, but I mean literally everything, anything. And oddly enough, the one book that when I saw the first Power Rangers book from Hamilton Comics in a 9.8 hit like $600. I mean that was the comics that got me into comics, and even I looked at that and said, there's no way. And so we did a video and we talked about books that we thought could survive a correction, that could possibly go untouched through a correction. And every one of the books we picked was completely wrong too. I mean, we've seen Hulk 181, even with the recent Wolverine announcement, that book has not had a huge spike. Regardless of what YouTube videos you watch on top 10s, New Mutants 98 has not had a huge spike like you would think. Look at Submariner books across the board. They are in the dumpster as far as the pricing goes. If you look back just 6 months ago, and then it's almost to me like we've gone almost past a correction to a point of not that it's crashing and it's dying and it's going away forever, but I think we're definitely sliding past the point of correction into a point of like where's the bottom at this point. We're still not pre comic boom prices yet, but I don't know that we won't get there though. And as someone who's on both sides of the fences, earlier this year I made the decision to try to work towards selling comics and buying and pressing and cleaning them, getting them graded and selling them that way, and try to make a move into getting into that as being my main source of income, doing something that I would really enjoy. And I had a plan. I had it thought out, mapped out, had every scenario covered. I was buying the right books. I was getting them for the right prices. It just ended up being the wrong time. And being on that side of the fence, what's going on right now really sucks because, I've still got books that I'm trying to sell, and you can't keep up with the price drops. If you put something up for $500 today, and then by next week, you've had 5 sales where that $500 book's now selling for $300. It's like
it's the exact opposite of what I was dealing with in 2020 and 2021, where I couldn't keep up with the price hikes.
Yeah.
People would come in and buy a book, and I'm like, man, it's what I've got it priced at, but I know for a fact this is selling higher than this now by a pretty good chunk.
Yeah. But as a collector, the other side of the fence, as someone who is a fan of this hobby and this medium, and looks at it as more than just a source of income or making an extra buck. As a collector, someone who wants to add some of these big books to my collection, I started really getting nervous and started kind of looking at a lot of these books a couple years ago. Like I'm not going to get these. These books are forever out of my price range. I'm salivating right now. I'm and it's like if it keeps dropping, it's going to hurt me, but like I need to sell these books in order to buy the stuff I want. But I'm just like, man, if a couple of books come down another 15, 20, 30%, they're within my grasping range. And that would be awesome. So it's definitely a double-edged sword, I know, for me.
So with the way the market is right now, and I mean, this is for both of y'all. One of y'all want to answer, it doesn't matter. But the way the market is right now, based on what y'all seen, do y'all feel like the comic industry is in a correction phase, or do you feel like once inflation's gotten under control and we kind of start rebounding and things start going down in price, the daily necessities, do you feel like comics will start going back up again?
I don't know. I think certain books are always going to be considered key. Are the prices going to go sky high like they did? I don't know. That's one of the values of, say, Overstreet, for example, the Overstreet price guide. What that's good for is year over year pricing. And so you can look at a thing and see it may have a spike right now. It may have a drop right now, but year over year, this is where it comes out. And they've got, 40 years worth of data to track on that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really valuable resource from that perspective. And if you look at that, I think that's probably closer to target than what we've gotten used to. Just check this week's eBay sold listings and that kind of stuff. So I think if you look at those books that have trended consistently high and they're going to continue to trend that way, probably a resource like that will be more effective for you to look at than just going off of online resources that only track the latest thing that happened now and not years and years of data.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
could probably get Tots to write me some kind of algorithm that would track that for me and tell me which ones are going to be good bets. Is that right, Tots?
Yeah, pull together some spreadsheets, make some PowerPoints, some waffle charts. Get it happening.
What in the world is a waffle chart?
Oh, you haven't seen a waffle chart? It's better than a pie chart because waffles are way better.
I don't know. Pie is pretty awesome.
But waffles, what can't you do with a waffle that you can do with a pie?
Well, I can
I'm
put
just
my
trying to
pie
picture.
on a
I'm trying to picture a coconut cream waffle, and that's not working.
No, you can put coconut cream on a waffle and eat it. You could put fruit on a pie or on a waffle and eat it. Whipped cream, powdered sugar, syrup.
I feel like waffling someone in the face wouldn't be as fulfilling, though.
Have you tried it?
No.
Hey, that could be
You would
one of
have
the things
to.
you guys
Are
do
you-
on Saturday.
Are you talking a waffle iron?
Waffle.
Like
Or,
a waffle
yeah.
to the face.
No, like
That's our
your
next
waffle.
fundraiser.
Waffle.
I'm
whipped
out of that
cream,
one. Nope,
right to the
nope.
face. I mean, have you ever eaten a pie and like, man, this crust is really good? Or you're like, but really it's the filling? Nix the crust, waffle.
Damn it.
I don't hate this plan. I'm game for trying this kind of thing. I'm just trying to picture how you would hold the nice thing about a pie is it's shaped so that it will hold all those fillings inside of it.
So Choco Taco is really just waffle, but it's really, really thin and you fold it. So
Yeah.
you make it with a stroop waffle iron. So you can make like little Choco Taco waffles or fruit or whatever you want. Put some coconut cream inside.
Now, while we're talking about coconut cream pie, I think I mentioned this last week, and I still have the same issue. I went and got my hair cut last week. They sold me some beard balm, which I had a different kind, and I'd run out. So I'm like, cool, I'll just buy it here. So I get this stuff. It works great. Everything about it is good, except for one minor problem. You get this stuff on your fingers. You rub it into your beard. My God, it smells like coconut cream pie. And it just makes me hungry for coconut cream pie every single morning.
It's really cool for about 15 minutes. And then after that, you're like, I'm done.
No, it makes me miserable all day because
Right.
I just want coconut cream pie. I got to get in the car and head over to go. Wyatt.
I got you, man. So you just got to choose something that's not like tasty. You got to choose something like a sandalwood or something like that, where
Like
you can put it in.
from Squatch.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
So
I
you got to
spent like $15. I'm going to use this stuff, and I'm just going to be miserable.
I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. However,
Right.
on your next one, you just got to choose something that's not edible.
Yep.
That just smells great.
Yeah,
Why?
yeah. Give me
With that
something that
pretty
smells like a forest, please.
With
I
that,
don't want my
with that
face to
beautiful
smell like
face,
the woods.
Yeah.
with that beautiful face, if you put sandalwood in that beard, his wife never let him leave the house.
Hey, listen, that's another happy accident that you got going on there, man. That's how you end up. That's how you end up with a baby girl.
Now, he
Is
needs
that
to
what
let his hair
happened?
grow back
Nope,
out.
never mind. Nope, I take that back. I take that
Sandalwood.
back. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
You know who I want to see as a girl dad? I want to see Dustin as a girl dad.
That would be something.
I want to see Dustin as a girl dad.
Nope.
Because Dustin, look, this is going to be a little difficult for me to pull off, but I'm going to do it anyway. My toes are actually like a nice lilac right now because I'm a girl dad. And I think you will feel so empowered and amazing when your daughter does the same thing to you.
No, I prefer baseball practice and that kind of stuff.
But they got
You don't
softball
like tea
practice,
parties? What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So let me tell you this. It's gonna sound a little preachy at first. There's the dolls, there's the makeup, but Munchkin, she plays role-playing games with me. She's going to learn to play hockey this weekend. She listens to all sorts of cool music with me. She loves playing foosball, video games with me. So boy, girl, doesn't matter. It's just about getting together and doing what you like together.
I
Yeah.
will say, Tots, I'm jealous when I see the pictures like that y'all post on Facebook of all the stuff y'all go and do. I'm like, I want to go on their family field trips because they do cool stuff. They're going on D&D scavenger hunts and painting miniatures and doing all. And I'm like, man, I just want to go on their family field trips.
And to be honest with you, Bug will dig through a comic book box just as good as any boy out there.
My
wife
favorite
wants to
thing
have
about
another one. I
her
told her
is
my only condition was that she cannot have a girl.
my favorite thing with Bug is when she starts peeling off the price tags off the comics.
There's no telling who's watching. We need to keep that between us.
But
Mama
it's just like her job, man. She knows what her job is, and she's going to do it.
What Mama don't know won't hurt me.
Now you just got to teach her how to take this comic that's $150 and swap it into this bag that's got a book in it for $7.
Yeah, really.
That's easier than taking stickers off.
That's
And if
some
you can get the
Oliver
guy at
Twist
the
stuff
cash
there, man. I
register
don't
to
know about
believe that
that.
it's
I'll tell you, Bug does a little bit of gaming too.
Yeah.
I remember hanging
She
out
played
with
Honey Hunt or Honey Heist, right?
Honey Heist, yeah.
We laughed about that stupid game for probably 2 weeks.
That game's
Speaking
so
of
funny.
games, Dustin, when are we going to get you and Nick over here to actually play an RPG?
I don't know. I told him we needed to schedule that 24 hours at the shop deal and try to do it then. So you know how Nick is. He's the busiest man in the world at all times. My schedule is pretty much always wide open. So it's all everything's always in Nick's pocket. So he holds the cards.
That's I like where you put the monkey on his back. That's good.
I can jump in the truck and be there in 3 hours and we can do whatever.
3 hours. You must be what, North Georgia or North Atlanta?
I'm about 40 miles west of Atlanta.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So do you ever go to Six Flags? Just asking.
No, I hate that kind of stuff.
I think I just heard a bus roll over. Beep, beep.
He knows
Backing
it's
up.
true.
Here it comes again.
He knows it's true.
His when he comes in on Saturdays, it's kind of funny. Some days his little girl is like, "It's Josh. That's cool. I want to go see Josh." And some days she's like, "Oh my God, it's that guy again." I've noticed when it's just him that's with her, she's happy to see me. But when Mom is there, she's like nervous and she wants to go hide. I found that was interesting.
Yeah, Munchkin's a lot different when Mama's around.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Like she knows she has to mind her P's and Q's because that's the one who she gets in trouble with. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe.
He's trying to throw you under the bus. You're like, nope, that's not the case at all. Same thing happens every time.
Well, see, that's what Wyatt. If we do this RPG thing here pretty soon, you're probably not going to be available. I'm guessing.
I mean, well, not this month. Definitely gonna be getting married and the whole thing. And And then, I mean, if it's not February, I may be able to squeeze something in. If it's February, after that point, I'm new dad, new baby dad.
I think we'll have to try and schedule it definitely before February because I know you've been wanting to get in on that too.
Yeah.
We'll bring Kaylisa out. Kaylisa can run a game. She runs an amazing game. I think that'd be fantastic. And since she's not on the camera, we can volunteer her for things.
I feel like she would be really strict too. Like she comes off to me as like someone who would be kind of strict on it. Like if you go outside of the rules, she might slap you in the back of the head with a cane pole or something.
No, I tell you, she is a phenomenal GM, man. She tweaks the game. She's like, okay, this guy really wants. He's really interested in this kind of thing, and she's really interested in that kind of thing. And she tweaks the game and gives everybody just a little taste of the thing that makes them feel special. They're like, "Ooh, that I got to do the thing I really wanted to do. I got to do." She's really, really good at that. She's fantastic.
Okay. I don't know anything about any of these games, so it's all going to be a brand new thing to me. I've never. I don't even know which games are the PG games, so it'll be new to me for sure.
They're all what you make them.
Okay.
So they all are what you bring to it, and it's like
it's fun, man. I've only played like 2 or 3 of them, but it's all, to me, what I found out was it's the people you play with.
Yes.
Like, and then also kind of how the GM or DM is as far as that. So like you can be able to have some really good times. One thing that I saw that I really, really enjoyed, and I don't know if you guys have seen it yet, was it's on Amazon. It's called Vox Machina, which made by the Critical Role people who they essentially made it off of like a D&D quest. So it's like, imagine having a group of friends and all their personalities are in an RPG, like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing. It was really, really fun. It's not necessarily one that you can watch with children around. However, it's definitely one that you can be able to enjoy and just have. It gave me a feel of like Guardians of the Galaxy or Suicide Squad, but it as a rated R one. So check it out when you can.
I know Kaylee's is a big fan of the Critical Role and Matt Mercer and all those the folks who play. I know she's a big fan of those. She would highly recommend them.
Yeah, it was really funny and it was really good, and it gave you it made you want to play that just so that you could be able to have like that good role playing kind of feel to it, and just to be able to play with your friends. Like if you're going to want to do something, like there's not any quote unquote rules to it, you can be able to do what you want to, and that's what makes it fun. So
you just have to accept the consequences.
Exactly.
Right. If you want to. I have the box I keep my dice in. It's got written on it. It's called the box of stupid. And I haven't really had to use it in years and years and years. But when people in the party want to do something stupid, and you use it, and you talk to them like whatever they said. They like, I want to go poke that sleeping dragon in the eye. I want to go poke that sleeping dragon in the eye. That's when they realize what they just said was stupid. It was just stupid. That said, if they want to do it, they can do it. But if the dragon opens his eye and then just gobbles them up in one bite, that's what happened because they were stupid.
But you know what? The story is sometimes worth it.
Exactly. It is sometimes worth it.
Right.
And sometimes you poke the dragon in the eye and he goes to bite you and he fumbles his roll and you make your critical save and you do something miraculous out of something stupid. That happens too. The dice,
you had one chip dust on your finger.
Right. Being the unpredictable thing that they are, the dice sometimes will make something stupid turn out to be like this brilliant genius move, or the other way around. You can do the smartest thing in the world, but you look like a moron.
You might end
the dice were not in your favor.
You might end up with a pet dragon.
Yeah, you might. The pet dragon goes, "Wow, you smell like coconut cream pie."
And sandalwood.
And sandalwood. That's right.
If we do the gaming thing, will that be on the same day that is the 24 hours at the comic book store?
Absolutely.
Because so say if we decide on a time, say if we 10 o'clock on a Saturday, because that's what time the store opens. That'll be what time I show up with the grill and start cooking. So I mean, we're not going to sit there and starve. We're going to eat, and we're going to eat good.
When a fat man says you're going to eat good, that's when you know it's up.
Oh yeah, we're going to do some Kaneka sausages and some chicken and some pulled pork. We're going to do a little bit of everything.
Some sausages, some hamburgers, some chickenses.
Now we might leave the burgers at the house. We might have to go all out. Just leave the burgers at the house.
That's fair.
I just want to tell you what you just said, Tots, about when a fat man tells you you're going to eat good, you know you're going to eat good. This was, 2005, maybe 2006. I was at work, and it's about coming on to lunchtime, so I'm going to go ask one of my buddies that works there if she wants to go to lunch. And so I pop in her office, and I didn't realize she had one of our customers there, right? And I never met this guy before in my life. And I popped in. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had somebody here." And she's like, "That's all right. Mike, this is Josh. Josh, this is Mike. What'd you want?" And I said, "Well, I was hungry for lunch, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go somewhere." And she says, "Yeah, it sounds great. Mike, where do you want to go?" And he looks at me, and he looks back at her, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Wherever he's going." And I was like, if that wasn't like both a compliment and an insult at the same time, I was like, wherever that dude eats must be pretty good. So we went down to Big Bob Gibson's and got him that stuffed baked potato the size of a football.
And some coconut cream pie.
Coconut cream pie.
Uh-huh.
We did it. That was a good day. And forever after that, I never forgot that dude. I mean, I still remember his name. I can hear his voice. Wherever that guy goes, wherever he goes. Lord, that was funny.
So is there anything coming up that anybody's looking forward to comic book wise?
I got to tell you, I'm excited for Black Panther 2.
Next weekend?
Yeah. I think it's, as long as it doesn't try to be like it has to reinvent itself. You know what I mean? Like it has to kind of, I don't want it to be just a whole sob story. But I also don't want it to pander as much.
Well, it has to walk a fine line.
Yeah.
But everything I have heard from the preliminary stuff is that this one is grading out higher than the original Black Panther did.
Well, I mean, the original one was all right. So the original one was okay. You know what I mean? Like, because
are you kidding? I loved that movie.
It like culturally wise, it was great as far as that's concerned, because it gave us an opportunity, and especially as a Black person, like to be able to see a whole different culture where it's not just portrayed as like the stereotypical Black people thing, but like as far as the storyline with a superhero one, it played the same role that almost like the Iron Man one did. You know what I mean? Like you have the person
that was really good too.
Yeah, but you got you got the Killmonger, which is like kind of like the Ironmonger, as far as that's concerned, the betrayal and all the rest of that. Like it wasn't they didn't reinvent the wheel when it came to that part of it, but it was still really, really good because there was a lot of emotion and a lot of culture that went into it. But like it wasn't anything that was like shocking, like, oh man, I didn't see Killmonger come and turn his back on it. I couldn't see that coming. Yeah, you did. So
it wasn't like from a plot perspective, it wasn't groundbreaking, but it executed it so well.
They should have killed him.
I would argue that half the time or better, a familiar plot executed well is better than just a decently executed, really stunning plot.
I agree, and I agree, Dustin. They shouldn't have killed Killmonger. They should have made him. Yeah, they should have made him chill with M'Baku and learn about Wakanda.
Because outside of Robert Downey Jr., I mean that's the best actor you've brought into the MCU, and I like him more. Nick and I both have said it 1,000 times. Michael B. Jordan is the top of our list as far as actors in Hollywood. The guy is top notch, and I was just like, man, you could have done so much more with this guy long term, and you give him a one and done, and he stole the whole show of the movie. I mean,
agreed.
He absolutely stole the show of that movie. I thought he could have done so much better for the MCU going further, and hindsight 2020.
It would have helped him out a whole lot. So my thing was like I thought that they should have definitely not made him a prisoner of like, as far as in a prison, but he was confined to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And then after that he would have been able to chill with like M'Baku and learn the difference between being a soldier and being a warrior for your country. And because like he had learned to be a killer, but he had never learned to be a protector. And so
Yeah.
then they could have been able to show how he learned how to do that. And then if say for instance, hindsight being 2020, like you said, with Chadwick having that, they could have been able to show that in a situation, and then he actually learning how to take up the mantle and really be the Black Panther going forward.
So I think we got too many redemption stories already. I get where you're coming from, but sometimes the redemption arc, just cutting it off, that's the shock, just let it go out and be done. Because if every single bad person comes around and has a redemption story, it gets a little bit tired.
No, I agree
agree.
with that 100%. We talked about that after the whole Gore the God Butcher thing. With it, it's like, oh, we can't have a villain anymore. It seems like
Right.
all the villains have to have some kind of redeeming quality. We have to be able to bring them back to the side
center.
of right. And but I don't know.
It's funny you say that, because if you look at for the longest time, the difference between Disney movies and Pixar movies back in the day was Disney movies had villains and Pixar movies had bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you remember Maleficent, right? You remember the evil queen from Snow White. You remember Cruella de Vil. You remember the villains. The bad guys are like, who was the bad guy of that?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, that guy that called himself Syndrome. I kind of vaguely remember. Hopper, I guess. They didn't have villains. They had bad guys. And I thought it was an interesting distinction.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's I agree with both of you. I think having the hindsight being 2020, having Michael B. Jordan available as somebody who could step into the mantle of the Black Panther, especially since he had already he consumed the herb and all that stuff, could work. But I absolutely agree with Tots that just ending that threat and it's done is really interesting too. I will say that one of the things that I have been reading of late is that for future stories, there is a possibility that they would bring Michael B. Jordan back as a character from the multiverse, from a world where he was not raised in Los Angeles. He was raised in Wakanda, and he is the Black Panther.
See, and that something like that, I agree with. Just let somebody else come in and like a different Killmonger come in. Yeah,
I guess that's my feelings. I just want him to be back. Like I hated that he was only getting one shot. Because I'm such a fan of his, and I think he's such a great actor. I just couldn't believe that he was only going to get one movie. So yeah, I mean that would be cool if they figured out a way to do that.
Yeah, and the thing about him getting one movie, and the thing about the reason why Killmonger stands out so much in that movie is because when you look at it, he really and truly wasn't the villain, because in his mind, he was the hero.
He was the antagonist, but in the same instance, he wasn't wrong. So that's the part that made it where it was just a clash of ideologies. And so that's what made it like really, really good. And I think like I understand, say for instance, and I understand the fact that, and it makes more sense for Killmonger to have died because he still died on his beliefs that he was doing the right thing. So that I think that would have definitely made him better. But then after that, I think you could have had an opportunity to, like, as you see Killmonger go through Wakanda and you see him be able to see the people that they protect, and that the people aren't as bad as, say, for instance, his uncle was by leaving him there, then you could be able to see, okay. And then that gives you an opportunity to build that world around, because then after that, you see not just the city, you get to see the tribes, and you get to see M'Baku and where he stays at. And because I thought the way that where M'Baku stayed was really, really cool too, because they had all the staffs that were hanging and everything beforehand. That was really, really cool from there.
They did some phenomenal world building in Black Panther. And I loved the idea of what would a modern city look like in an Africa, in a country, in a nation that wasn't touched by European influence, right? So all the buildings don't look the same as they would. Because if you look at Hong Kong, you look at London, you look at Paris, you look at New York, they all look pretty much the same, right? It's these same concepts. But they took in Wakanda, they took the buildings were sure they had skyscrapers, but they had this organic look to them that really was awesome. I love the world building they did and the subtle ways. And when you talk about where M'Baku comes from and the different cultures, and you could tell the different cultures by the way they dressed and by the earrings and all that kind of stuff. You could tell that's a different culture. It's a different tribe, but they're all part of one people, right? And it made you want to see, where do those guys come from? Where do those guys come from? Because it's all different. And I thought that was really well done. I love the world building they did. But going back to something, you asked the question, what's something looking forward to? I'm not looking forward to it so much anymore because I've already have it and I already read it. But this Mark Silvestri book, The Batman and the Joker, The Deadly Duo, you guys need to give that a look. Should absolutely give this a look.
Yeah, that was going to be one that I was going to pick up this week. I don't think I signed up for it. I was just going to grab it off the shelf. Because I know that a lot of the DC, especially the Batman books, have had that excerpt from it the past couple of weeks or past 3 weeks probably that I've really been wanting to check it out. But two that I'm looking forward to, and the only reason why I'm telling y'all now is because I'm signed up for both of them. Yeah, y'all not doing me like y'all did me last week. But we've got Spider-Man: The Lost Hunt coming up.
Written by J.M. DeMatteis, who wrote the original Craven's Last Hunt.
Dustin, hush your mouth. And very highly anticipated book. Cannot wait to get my hands on this one. I've been looking forward to it. Wildcats is coming back, at least for a limited series.
And it's written by Matt Rosenberg, so it's going to be good.
Yep, and we are going to get to see what will actually happen when we put Grifter, Scarlet, and Spartan in the same room with the Court of Owls. I really want to see how Grifter approaches the Court of Owls. Now, if we can get a really good fight between Grifter, Zealot, and Talon, the entire series will be worth it. If we can just get that one fight.
I'm with you on that. I don't know if you saw, you probably hadn't been in yet this week, but we just got in Nottingham Volume 2 trade paperback for anybody who needs that. Alan?
I don't need it. I have all of them.
I know. But I saw it. Yeah, there you go.
Great series, by the way.
I saw Tots going north and south there.
Yeah, I got to grab the Volume 1 trade paperback. I never finished, I think, the last issue or maybe the last 2 issues, and then grab Volume 2 because that was an awesome series.
We have that at the shop too, just in case you're over this way.
All right.
When you come over here to pick up the FF6 from Jeremy Bernal.
That issue number 1A cover from Nottingham is probably the single best cover that has come out of Mad Cave Studios, in my opinion.
Oh, that was fantastic. And the book was great.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember I got to read a retailer preview of that before it came out, and I was like, Mad Cave is an interesting little company. Let's see what they got going on here. What is this book? Holy crap, that is violent.
Yeah,
this is rough.
So
people are going to love it or hate it.
Yeah, Mark contacted us. I don't know what his title. He's like the guy at Mad Cave, and was asking us if we wanted to bring the writer on, and so they sent us the PDF of it, and Nick and I both read it, and we started talking about it, and was just like, man, like never would have expected something like that out of that. Just looking at that cover, it wasn't. I was just like, okay, like another Robin Hood tale, cool. But yeah, it definitely blew me away for sure. I thought it was great because I was just like, how many takes can you do on Robin Hood? And I was like, well, this is definitely my favorite one. Kind of like that Never Never, which was the basically like the evil Peter Pan story that came out last year, was absolutely my favorite book that came out last year. Loved it.
What's the best Robin Hood story you've ever read, all of you? Can be a book or movie, even that for that matter, book, movie. What's the best, no matter what media you consumed it, what's the best Robin Hood story to you?
So while
Disney.
everybody thinks about that, I'm gonna say this. Yeah, Disney's the best one, hands down. But the problem with 99% of the Robin Hood stories is they try to romanticize the story way too much. That's my issue with Robin Hood movies.
The early Robin Hood, man, he was just a bad dude.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
when you look at say like Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, and then you look at what was that one that they just come out with? Crap, who was in that?
Oh,
Edgerton, something.
Yeah, Edgerton.
Yeah.
You start looking at some of those, and it's kind of like, okay, look, we're trying to make him out to be the hero way too much. And honestly, my favorite Robin Hood story is Nottingham. I mean, I like it. It's violent. He's underhanded. I mean, he's not the guy you want to meet in the alleyway.
Well, he's like a trickster kind of a guy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that entire series so far, the whole thing's been great from beginning to the point that we're at, what, 9? I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that entire series is you really and truly have only gotten glimpses of it. And at one point, you see him pretty much from behind standing on the castle wall looking down, and all the people are just chanting Hood. You know, it was right when the Merrymen invaded during the contest. That was, I don't know, I love that part for some reason. And then what he did in 8 with the sheriff, I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. I was not expecting that twist. So yeah, I would have to say,
Nate, same, bud. Good to see you, man. You have to go back and rewatch. We got some good comics discussion going on here today.
And one chip challenge.
And the one chip challenge on Saturday, Nathan. You got to come by the store on Saturday. That's a must.
Yep. So
since you just got here, I'll show off the book that I got this week. That's made me really happy.
I mean, what about y'all? What are y'all thoughts on the current Robin Hood stories, or which ones do y'all like the most?
So I always think of like the Kevin Costner one, you know what I mean, with good old Morgan Freeman.
He was awesome.
Yeah, and
that was a fun twist to the Robin Hood story to introduce that character and have him come back.
And then was it Kurt Russell? No, who was it? It was
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, that's who it was, where he had that one. I mean, they tell that story a lot, but it just made me think because my mind works differently. So then I was thinking about the Green Arrow, and then after that, I thought about how like 2 weeks ago we had the argument on who has the better property between MCU and the DC animated universe. We had Comic Court about that one. That was really, really funny. But I got off track, and then I brought myself back. And then I was like, okay, Kevin Costner, that's the one that I think of most of the time.
With Christian Slater and Bryan Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
and Mary Antonio, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the one with Alan Rickman too, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alan Rickman.
And the spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why a spoon, cousin? Because it's W. It'll hurt more.
And Sean Connery for his Steven Seagal executive decision cameo.
I will tell you, I saw Robin Hood Prince of Thieves at the theater opening day, and when King Richard the Lionheart comes in at the end, and it's Sean Connery, everybody cheered and clapped. And it just tells you the energy difference between opening day and 3 weeks later when I saw it again at the theater. When he comes out, everybody went, ha, 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 ha. Like it was the difference in energy and expectation. But yeah, that opening night when that happened and he came out and everybody was like, oh my God, yeah. That was fantastic.
Sean Connery had just that swag. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Like he was James Bond or something.
Something.
There were definitely vibes there.
Yeah.
So I just noticed that Kay Lisa gave up on us.
She did.
Yeah.
She bailed. She's like, that's it. I'm done with you guys. I will say for me, there's an author who wrote a really awesome Robin Hood story. His name is Stephen Lawhead, and the first book was called Hood. The second book was called Scarlet, and the third book was called Tuck. Or I've got those reversed, but in any case, each book was just named after one of those characters, and it was fantastic. Because Sherwood Forest is actually a really small forest, and it's impossible to hide there, and it was impossible to hide there during the time period when all these Robin Hood stories were being told. He did a lot of research, and he's like, I think the only place in all of England or the UK that this could have actually been was in this massive forest on the English Welsh border. And he picked the whole story up and he set it over there because Robin Hood was a ton of stories. It wasn't just one story. There were dozens and dozens and dozens of stories that eventually over time have coalesced into this one that we know and we talk about. Did we talk about the Lord of the Rings reveal yet? We have not talked about a Lord of the Rings reveal. What Lord of the Rings reveal? I feel like I've missed something. We did get to see the books that Dustin managed to snag for Nick. So that was cool. I dug that. That was neat. But guys, I guess it is getting a little on the late side and we don't want to hold everybody up all night. So anybody got one round of a topic they want to hit before we sign off?
So I got a notification about 15 minutes ago that some YouTube channel called The Blurred Syndicate is getting ready to go live.
Yes. I'm not in that one.
Not in that one.
That is Victory Road, a gaming podcast. That is with the other people, Marcus and Dub. They just talk about gaming stuff. So they do stuff where I think they're going to give their expectations on the new game, God of War game that's coming out, where it actually got reviewed already and they gave it a perfect 10. So yeah, so they're going to talk
about perfect 10 on that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're going to do that, and they're going to talk about Pokemon because they have a new Pokemon game that's coming out here in the next 2 weeks or so.
So Scarlet and whatever.
Violet, yeah. So they're going to talk about those things. And I can't forget to talk about every Tuesday. There's the drink and draw. So it gives me a reason to have a nice drink and get to watch Jeremy do his thing. And then we also do giveaways now. So Jeremy does like a sketch cover or sketch that he does every time for that. And I give away posters since we got a ton of them since the quiz show stopped. There's like 20. I have to get rid of them. Upper management set up a decree that I have to get rid of these posters. And so we do those as well.
Got it. Dustin, what's happening with Two Brothers?
Tentatively, tomorrow we will be doing our weekly live show, the Comic Book Babylon. And then Saturday, if anybody's going to be at CUSACon in Rome, Georgia, we're going to be there hanging out all day at that show. So we're looking forward to that.
Who are some big guests that are going to be there that you're excited about?
The comic book vendors. I'm not a guest guy.
I like how you think.
Guy. That's who the spinner rack. That's who I'm excited because they always got good stuff.
I think Jeremy's going to be there with the long box too.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not.
You're like,
I've not been one of the guests. Like if they're there, cool. But I'm not. I go for the comic books, man. I don't get all excited about the guests anymore. So, that I have no idea actually who's going to be there.
Speaking of guests, though, I gotta say, upper management has to be like on needles and pins for the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. Because 2023, we got Shatner coming, we got Brent Spiner coming, we got the guy who played Q in Next Generation, and they just announced today that Gates McFadden is coming.
Dr.
I wouldn't be surprised if more come, but those four, that's some heavy hitters out of Star Trek, man.
She said that we have to budget. Yeah, we have to budget for this because that is going to be our daughter's name is going to be Naya Ahura. So if that doesn't tell you that she's definitely going to be at the expo, I don't know what else will. So
Is she going to be born in a red dress?
she's got a onesie that looks like a Star Trek onesie. So yes, so there is, it's serious.
Does it say "Make it so" on the butt?
I
You know
hope
what?
it's
I'm gonna
not.
show you this. I'm gonna show you
I
this.
hope it's not red.
That's right, not a red shirt.
Yeah, not a red shirt.
Let me
I
show
saw
you
Mark Paul Gosselaar is going to be there. I thought
Yeah,
that was
he
pretty
is.
cool.
this.
We have to
Oh,
find a Saved by the
this is our
Bell
front-
comic
this
book
is our
now.
front-
I
Oh
know they're
man,
out
look at
there.
that.
So she has a shrine to Star Trek right there in our front room. So
That's
But
pretty awesome.
A few
So she-
weeks ago, or was it last week? Sorry to interrupt. You said that the person that you think should be Booster Gold would actually be announced the next day, and they announced Mark Paul Gosselaar the next day. So you think that he would make the good Booster Gold in live
Oh,
action?
yeah, he would make a phenomenal Booster Gold.
No, I can support that.
I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
He would be. He'd be great. All right, so Tots, what's something coming up that you're excited about?
So I think I'm going to get to see a couple of my buds Saturday. Alan might be there.
Yeah, he might show up.
So
He'll
yeah,
be
come
the
on
one
down.
crying in the corner.
Come on down, hang out, see the chip thing, even bring some food, whatever, for a good cause. Other than that, nothing really going on, just doing the thing. I'm not weird or important or entrepreneurial like you folks are. So
That vast stack of games behind you says different.
man, my game table is in my bedroom right now. That's sad. So I'm itching to get that back out so I can start
Roll for initiative,
cracking
buddy.
these. Roll for initiative, baby. So yeah, now that the restrictions are up and stuff, I encourage folks go out, find a game, play, give it a shout, and make some friends. So
That's exactly right.
it's a cool hobby. It's a cool group of people. So go find you a game. YouTube
We've
groups.
got a group
are-
starting up a new Shadowrun game up there on Sundays. Up the shop. If you like
That's
Shadowrun, if you want to roll a bucket full of D6s, Shadowrun's the game for you.
And Warhammer's not your thing.
Right. Oh yeah, roll your D6s. All right, well, folks, it has been awesome having you guys on tonight. It's been great talking about comics and things that burn your mouth out. And I liked, for one, and I know that Dustin appreciated it. I appreciated Alan's apology to Dustin.
I owed it to him.
You did. And Dustin, you can go back and play that as many times as you need to, buddy. But we're looking forward to this event on Saturday. We're hoping to raise a lot of money for a good cause, hoping to bring in a lot of non-perishable foods for Manna House, which is another great cause. And we're hoping just to have a really great time.
Josh is going to cut his hair like Scarf. We hit $1,000 raised.
Come on, Josh.
I'm not committing to that. I have professional requirements that would suffer.
It's for the kids, Josh. It's for the
We
kids.
just need a couple
man.
pictures.
I'll put in a couple words for you. I think they'll go for it.
I'm just trying to picture a meeting with total strangers. Do you want to join our team?
Hey, Wyatt,
What
you
happened
remember
to your head? Never mind.
You remember what I said about them kids the other day in that text message? That's how I felt this morning after I ate that chip.
Yeah, team, forget them kids.
No. He said, I love those kids so much. I hope that we raise so much money and give them the Christmas that I always hoped I had. That's what he was saying in that text this morning.
Sure.
That's, so
Forget those kids. My mouth is on fire.
Yeah.
Well, I did get you that montage though.
he
Yeah,
did.
that was great.
He did. Bro.
So
That is awesome. Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. Hope you all have a great night. Have a great week. Come out and see us on Saturday. Donate for the One Chip Challenge that we're doing to help with a local food bank and Angel Tree to give a good Christmas to families that could use our help. You can't go wrong with that. You'll feel better about yourself either way.
It's for the kids, man. It's for the kids.
It is. And because I like to always finish these with something cool, and this one still makes me happy, even though we're not technically a quiz show anymore, I'll play this on our way out.